Things are hot in the house, as Juliana is saying, as it is. We are looking into the roles and the position of women in the Kenyan political landscape. Before we went for a break, Juliana, we were looking into this big elephant in the room that leaders and even stakeholders have been trying to take it out of the room, but it's becoming very much impossible, the 2/3 gender rule. And there's this feeling that someone somewhere has not been playing their duties rightly to see that this 2/3 gender rule is promoted to the letter. Who is this, or who are these?
I just feel it's like for you to achieve it, we just need to work in percentages. Like if it is for the women, we must give it a 60% seriousness. Then we can invite our brothers to join us, because I came to realize not everybody is against the gender role. Actually, like for most people who we've been able to talk to, even when we are fighting for the main 2/3 gender rule, we got actually guys that were really supportive, and they are not women. So again, it depends on how someone has been brought up, because I normally believe in family values. Like if someone picks something from where they start, they grow with it. Whatever that comes, when you see maybe a boy being told, your sister is not important, no, you are the one who you'll go to university first, you'll do this. When this guy becomes an MP, when this guy becomes a governor, that is the same thing. Like when they go to the house, they'll start treating the sisters that are leaders just the same way. They would feel like they're not important.
We come to this data. By 2017, women made up 46.6% of the 19.6 million registered voters. Kuna huu msemo unasema mlango ikifungwa unaweza endea kwa dirisha. Don't you think these numbers can come together and ensure women leaders are elected finally?
Yeah, they definitely can. But I normally return the ball to our court as women. Like we must be able to convince people why we want to go there. We must be good examples of why we want to go there. We must convince the boy child or the male gender that we are not going there to compete with you guys. Actually, we are going to make things better.
So there's been a fear that men have been having, women are coming here maybe to compete us or to fight us in one of the way. Is it part of the impediment?
Absolutely.
To the process?
Absolutely. Because everywhere you go, like I have been running for leadership positions myself, and you'd hear someone saying like, maybe we are kiingia, kutakuwa hivi, and there's a particular fear about it. It's not even anti-hatred. There's a particular fear that no, manamke atatukalia. That's how it plays out in Kenya. You'd even hear it from even your peers. Like there's that fear that no, a girl should not be on top of a guy, and maybe they would overpower and overrun things. And I just feel like if I come here and show you and campaign enough why I really, really want it, that I just want the girl's voice to be heard. I want the girl to be represented in regards to maybe if it is grooming, that kind of thing. We just need a voice that would say, no, for us women, during our menstrual cycle, this and this happens. Like we want people who can actually preach it. And I was talking about the documents. You see, if a document is written and it does not have enough backing and campaigning, it remains to be that, a document. So like as women, we need to convince our guys, because they also need to vote in parliament. But before I vote for you, you must tell me why do I. Like we shouldn't make it like it is our right.
It brings us another question of how has been the performance of the 47 women representatives across Kenya. And remember, when you go to the Senate, according to the projections of the threshold, so far it has only fallen short of 2 women. If they add 2 women, everything is home and dry. Out of 10,
yes.
How has been their performance?
First of all, I would give it a 40. I would give it a 40 because...
That's 4 out of 10.
Yes, because you can clearly see, I told you there are problems we still have, that we should not be having in 2020. There should not be, like, let me give an example of Nairobi. I feel very sad sometimes when I go to a class, when I'm doing my duties, and find there is a girl who has missed school because of sanitary towels. I feel like we have enough media, we have enough voice, we have enough people that can come together and be able to keep this child in school. But again, I feel the women reps are not doing enough. The women reps are like, when every time I look at the TV and I see people having conversations, rarely do I meet a woman rep in front of my TV trying to fight for the right of the gender that they are supposed to be representing. Like, they were put there so that they could see the kind of things that the girls are not having, so that they could bring them in and work together in liaison with the boys that are there in parliament. But so far, we can see, as much as they're trying, I wouldn't say they're not trying 100%, as much as they're trying, they're not doing it the right way. Right now, we had girls that have done exams. Why do we even have girls that are not in school, have not joined Form 1, and we have a woman rep? Why can't the woman rep come and campaign and even ask for funds and go to the ministry and partner with the Ministry of Education to keep girls in school? We are already reporting pregnancies in Form 1. Why? Because we are not having enough trainings for women. So it means there is a woman rep somewhere who is not doing enough. Yes.
So the 4% out of 10, or the 40%, is also contributing too much for that notion that no, we cannot have the 2/3 gender rule because of this and that. Now we've seen problems that are facing our society. Kenya in particular, we are part of Africa. And as others say, that Africa, we are Africans and Africans are our business, but we don't know which business. Now, we have the myths and misconceptions. The society thinks, the capacity. In the year 2017, we saw the UNDP partnered with the Taita Taveta County government, the office of the DPP, also the judiciary was brought on board, and other organizations to look into some of the bottlenecks that were affecting women not to vie and what have you. And it worked at some part there. How has been the awareness now in other counties across the country, telling women that, you know, you can get this funding, you can do this, you can do that, you can lead? You know, information is power. How has been the awareness?
It has not been good. And as we speak of partnerships, I would love to speak of genuinity. Genuinity of the partners that are coming in. Why are people coming in? Are the partners that people are getting, are the stakeholders coming in, the genuine people that should be part of that conversation? Like, you would see someone bringing in something to a county, but when you look at, when you go and sit back in that meeting, you feel the person being discussed is not there. We have meetings that we do not even collect the students' voices. So, like, how are you going to solve my issues when I'm not even part of the story? So, like, what I normally say is, yes, we have the UN, we have a lot of organizations coming in trying to sort issues, but I believe that we don't have enough genuine people that are passionate enough to see this narrative come to pass. So, like, all I say is, as much as we want to push for these genders, I'm telling you it's not easy. Let me play my part as a mentor. Let me tell this youth that as a girl, you can be able to get to the farthest end you want, but also you as a brother, or most if you have sisters, you're supposed to tell your sister you can't do it, you being a guy. The teacher, who is male, can tell the student you can't do it. Also, the leaders themselves, they can come in, the male leaders can come in to even do campaigns, because it's also their girls that can be these leaders. So I feel it is a joint or a collective strategy that can be used if only we want to get to a higher percent of having women that are responsible, women that will stay in school and not get pregnant, because you know that a community that has unstable women will have unstable children, because even these women that are not stable are giving birth to boy child. So if the woman is not stable as well, it affects the boy child. They will come, get to drugs because the mother is not stable. So like it is something collective if we want to achieve anything.
And then lastly, that notion ya kwamba adui wa mwanamke ni mwanamke, is it still operating?
No, I normally feel it is a narrative that people want to use. I have been held up by my fellow women. Before I realized my potential, I was actually, my hand was held by my fellow woman. So I normally believe that is just a line that people want to use.
Ile kamati ya roho chafu.
Kamati ya roho black. The one I use it.
No, black is my color, remember.
Yeah. So like it's the kamati that want us to believe that that is how it is. I have seen women that have done greater things. Yeah, so it's just a notion because we have enemies that have done very bad things to us and are not women. Bad things or bad characters don't have a gender. Bad hearts do.
So it's a matter of people being genuine and doing what is supposed to be done that can actually uplift the women's standards.
Yes, just look at your position in the society and do your job.
Many thanks, Juliana Olayo. Those are deeper insights that we believe it's going to go a long way in transforming minds, changing perceptions, and bringing people together. The conversation does not end on Powerbrief. It keeps on going. And that's why we've given you the option to engage us on our social media platforms and also other initiatives that will come up. Thank you so much for keeping us company on this show. Till next time, from me, Cornelius Omuse, for now, goodbye.